Nate's team was a little different because we had, I think it was more of an ISO team. You know what I mean? Yeah, we passed the ball, but we had more like isolation players, if you will. And I think that's where we thrived a little bit more. Then when Nate B came in, I think that he came from that Toronto Raptors system where they thrived off of just junkyard dog or junking the game up. So we would just try so many different, I don't know if you call them sets or actions, whatever you want to call it, but we wreaked havoc on defense and that was able to supercharge our offense. And now with Rick, Rick was a coach that he used to like to call play every single possession. Even Rick's first year here, we had a game where he did that. He stopped us and called a play every single possession. But in the dawn of this new NBA, and especially in the playoffs, that stuff doesn't work. It's easy to scout. But when you have random movement on offense and guys that are someone like Tyrese who's head of the snake who wants to pass the ball, it makes the game a little bit easier, especially for a guy like myself who thrives with space.
Standing on the right, Dan?
Dan Devine, Yahoo Sports. Myles, congratulations. The challenge of this Oklahoma City defense, where it seems like they can kind of be whatever they need to be on any given possession. They can cross-match a small onto you. They can put a big on your smalls. They can play straight. They can play zone. When you know that there's like a full menu like that available to them, how does that impact your preparation for what you guys need to be able to do offensively?
Well, the fact that they play similar to us, I mean, we've been seeing that every day since training camp. You know what I mean? I realize that this is a different stage, this is a different team, but we prepare and train so hard for moments like such. So, yeah, we know that where they have their calling card, whether it's swarming the ball defensively or, wreaking havoc, as you call it. But at the same time, when you prepare that way and when you go into battle that way, nothing is really new. So, again, it's going to be an adjustment period. You got to get your baseline, game one, and you take it from there. But, again, I think we're looking forward to the challenge.
Michael here up front.
Myles, Michael Grange from Sportsnet in Toronto. You made a point at the when you guys won the Eastern Conference Finals of kind of shouting out Pascal as G League MVP. Mm-hmm. I wonder why that came through your mind at that point, and maybe you as a veteran here, how has Pascal complemented and become part of the leadership group here?
Yeah. Well, for your first question, the G League is a grind. People don't have enough appreciation for what it takes to work your way up. From I guess a lot of people want to refer to it as a bottom. I don't see it as that. It's a developmental league. So you go to the develop, and he was able to develop into an MVP on a championship team there. So you take those same habits and you apply them to this level, and they're already ingrained in your head. And he was able to do the same thing at the biggest stage. So, yeah, I think Pascal is someone who has actually been there before, who's actually seen the ups and the downs, the highs and lows, and knows how an NBA Finals media day works, which I didn't. I mean, this little stuff like that, it helps. Helps bringing something like that into your locker room, and he's grown himself into one of the better players in our league's history.
Front center.
Hey, Myles, you said earlier this playoffs that this is the most fun you've ever had playing basketball. What is it about this team that allows you, even with all the pressures of the playoffs, to have fun as a group?
We rely on each other so much. The pressure isn't as heavy as it once was in my career. I feel like any given night, it can be anybody can go off. This roster 1 through 15, and I feel like a lot of players just say that, but like I actually mean that, and I think that's been on full display for the past month, 2 months of the season and whatnot. And no, man, it's just exciting times, and I'm just taking every single moment. Just taking every single moment in. You never know if you ever be on the stage again. So while I'm here, I'm gonna make the most of it.
Fourth row on your left.
Myles Ariaga from ESPN Brazil. I know that you are a huge Lego fan. Does it help to control your anxiety before those moments? And I want to know if you already have a Larry O'Brien, or is this the next one on your list?
Well, to answer your first question, it is definitely something that helps me center myself, helps me get grounded. Just putting together Lego puzzles, Rubik's cubes, crosswords, whatever it is, like little stuff like that just takes my mind away from work, if you will. We all need our escapes. You all work hard. You guys write your articles. You interview players and everything. But just like us, like we had to get away. Had to try to find a way just to feel human again. There's a way of dehumanizing us when it comes to just hoops. You see us on TV and you think we're machines, but all have that same emotion. So it can be good for anxiety. It can be good just to chill. Be good just to get away. And as far as Larry O'Brien, after you win, that's when you do stuff like that. But it's just I like what Lego encompasses because this entire process has been a brick by brick thing. You just build a little bit each day by day by day by day, and then finally you have, a beautiful picture at the end of it.
David, right side.
Hey, Miles. You cited the power of friendship
Yeah.
the other day. And I wonder, this is a copycat league, and one of these teams is going to win a championship, building a roster in a very unusual and different way. But what are the kind of potential headwinds to that, whether it's money, shots, acclaim, wanting to be the man, all of the things that kind of conspire against the power of friendship?
Absolutely. So when you come into this league, you're the man everywhere you go, right? In high school, you were the man. In college, you're the man. You get here, you have to fall into a niche or a role. And, when you're trying to build a championship roster, a lot of stuff gets in the way. You have individual accolades. Everybody wants to be an all-star. Everybody wants all NBA. Everybody wants all the glitz and the glory, the shoe deals that comes with this. But I've just been in this league long enough to know that stuff fades. You know what I mean? And championships are forever. At the end of the day, you sign a big shoe deal, that deal's up in 5, maybe 6 years or whatnot. Championships are forever, and that's something it's huge to me. And it's easy just to have players come in and whether it's your circle, whether it's your peoples, whether it's online, they get in your head a little bit. And it's like, you should do this, you should do that, you should do this. When you start spending so much time with a group of people, like more time than you spend with your own family, I don't have any kids, but like your own kids or just people around, like, you have to learn tendencies. You have to learn, what makes each other go. And yeah, man, that power of friendship thing is real, bro, because especially when you get in moments like these, you can rely on each other as opposed to, relying on trying to be an all-star or a shoe deal or this and that, so yeah.
Last one, standing on the right.
Myron Patton, OKC Sports. I asked Pascal this. I want to get your opinion, too. You guys got off to a slow start, but first of the year, you kind of turned things around. What were those things that allowed you to turn it around, and how can it help you this series? And one other note, you're from Dallas. How many family you got coming up?
Yeah. So the beginning of that question, yeah, I think the beginning of this year was the best thing that could have happened to us. You come off an Eastern Conference Finals run, and you start to feel good about yourself a little bit, like you've actually accomplished something. And, for a lot of us, it was huge. I had never been there before. It's pretty much everybody in the roster's first time in the playoffs last year. So that adversity that we hit, it kind of slapped us back into reality a bit. And I think we needed that. I think we needed that as a group to see some adversity. And, once we stared that in the eye and got past that, we started to build towards, where we are now. And we kept the main thing. And yeah, Dallas is 3 hours away. I have plenty of friends and family that are, supporting me back home. I'm not buying tickets for everybody, so I got about 3-4 people that are coming. That's about it. And then, but I know I have a lot of love and support down the road, man. Texas and Oklahoma, the ties run deep, so it's a beautiful time of the year.